To quote Bob Ross, let's get a little crazy here. Art has been such a beautiful thing that we as humans have created. It could be explained in a million ways or not at all. It has been used as a way to express political statements, to depict kings and queens in all their glory, or even just to express the emotions of the artist itself. But more importantly, art has been used to illustrate and depict our history, such as this painting here. It was created in 1875, just after the westward expansion, well, maybe 50 years or so, but this shows the West in a different light. It shows how beautiful it was and what it really meant to Americans during that time. And that value of art that it's played for many different reasons throughout our history is just, it can't be argued against. That value, though, has seemed to have declined more recently, though. It might be important to individuals or certain groups of people, but to our society as a whole, it has just seemed to kind of lose its meaning, especially within our schools. When money is low, budgets are tight, those art classes are always the first ones gone, even in band and theater. And that's just because they're seen as non-essential to a student's education. However, those classes, the art classes, music, they all have so many benefits to students, especially when they're young, that can be applied to their adulthood. So by listening to this argument, the value of art will be enhanced, and those benefits will be seen as essential to a student's education and to once they're an adult. This essay will be developed and organized through different points that I will be making. Each point will be about a paragraph, possibly 2 paragraphs, depending on the complexity of the issue. And each point will be supported with different pieces of evidence, not only to build my credibility, but also to enhance that argument so the audience is more fully convinced. Each point will be organized from throughout the essay from weakest to strongest point. And that is because, generally speaking, what the audience remembers the most is the last point that the author makes. So by making my strongest point last, the audience will walk away feeling more convinced that art should be prioritized within schools. In addition to that, because of the strongest point being last, I'm going to put my counter argument just before it. Not only to show openness to the other side within my essay, but also to lead it right into the strongest argument, so there is no opposition or uncertain feelings about the issue once the audience is finished reading. The resources that I will use for this essay will be articles, scientific journals, and transcripts of students and teachers talking about the importance and the value art has and music have played within their education. All of these will either provide different positions or arguments that I can use within my essay, or even just statistics to apply to more of the logical side of the argument. Some problems that I can anticipate from this is that some people might already have their mind made up, or they won't need any convincing. Like, for example, some people already know the value of art within schools, within students' lives, and even adults' lives, so there won't be any convincing needed there. But the other issue that people might have their mind set on is that they automatically assume that keeping those extracurriculars within schools means more money, such as through raising taxes or the school needing more donations. And while that's not the case, that argument might need a little bit more research or statistics in order to fully support my argument against that, to fully convince that group of people that might bring that point up. Another issue that might arise is that there's not a lot of research on the direct correlation between students being involved in art and music classes in school and their performance in court classes. It's a very difficult subject to measure, so there just isn't a lot of solid research on it, but there is some research out there, and there is plenty of other research for the rest of my points that I can utilize throughout my essay. So yeah, that is my topic briefing of prioritizing the arts within schools.